it's a very different program than others I've encountered in the past. And I believe it's the model that's been created. The first week of learning is a fabulous week, but I think the part that makes it more robust and more real and made it more real for me is that it was followed up with an experience with an individual coach who helped reinforce the learnings that I had during the first week. And then returning for the following week, after some time has progressed, allowed me to reflect on what had occurred for me in the time period from the first session, and really absorb and adapt and adjust to some of the changes that have occurred in me, and begin to recognize those. And it helped me to plan for the following week. And I found that that approach, that model, is much different than others that I've had in the past. I've taken many programs where once you take the program, it sort of goes on the shelf and can run the risk of collecting some dust. And this program, the way it's modeled, doesn't allow for that to happen. The faculty at the Gestalt International Study Center bring with them such a broad and diverse knowledge of what really happens in industry, both here in the United States, but also internationally. And they have allowed me to apply and understand better theoretical concepts in a real life setting. And they've helped me to bridge the gap from what is in many ways theory into a real life approach. And they come with an enormous amount of credibility, an enormous amount of patience, which is helpful, as well as just a fabulously diverse perspective. And they allow us to gather it at our own rate, but they also push us out of our normal comfort zones and challenge us to test the material in a way that's tangible, tactile, and it can be applied in a real life setting. An example of how my experience has impacted me, real life at work. I went through the first week of the training or the class during the fall of 2008. Shortly thereafter, my company went through a significant reorganization, and the principles and the concepts that I was working on in terms of understanding what was happening within me and what was happening within my environment provided me a level of grounding that I didn't have before the class. It allowed me to really understand what was happening and see it from a perspective that wasn't available to me before I took the class. And I believe that I came through that relatively rapid transition and found myself back on 2 feet, ready to face the challenges of tomorrow far more quickly than I would have prior to taking the class.